my dream, couldn't see my vision. Old school brawler, call me Sonny Liston. One. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Rio checking in. We here. Keep on pushing interview series, Black Dollars Media. And today we have a very special guest checking in from the city of Charleston. We got the Geechie poet. Tell the people what's up, big dog.
What's up, world? Geechie Poet coming to you live and direct once again, man. How y'all living?
All right, all right. So the poet himself has came through the Keep On Pushing interview series. Do just chop it up with us, put us on to what he got going on, and just put us on to some of this Geechee culture, man. So let's just get right into it. First question I got for you today: what does the name the Geechee poet mean to you personally?
Geechie Poet, man. So I'll give you an interesting fact. If some people may not know this, one of the first actual recorded Geechee poets was a lady, and she was actually recognized by doing that, and that just part of the heritage. Me being Gullah Geechee from Charleston, South Carolina. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not be the Geechee poet, man? That's who I am. That's my heritage. I had to think hard about it, and I ain't faking the funk with it, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's what's up, man. I really dig how the past has influenced the present and will influence the future. If that ain't Charleston, I don't know what is, man. So that's what we all about down here, man. That's Southern hospitality, and just we are. I believe that we are a little bit more in touch with our ancestors in this area, as opposed to some other people that might have moved away during the Great Migration. So it's always that's always a bonus. Can you tell us about your roots and how growing up in Charleston has influenced your art?
Well, my roots, man. Like I say, my mom is she's from Charleston, South Carolina. So my granddad, my mom's family is huge, bro. Like so huge, you got to check on the girls you want to date to make sure that you ain't related to
Yeah, I
them.
know
You
about that.
know what I'm
I know about that.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but no, all jokes aside though, that's my dad. He from South Carolina too. He from Marion, South Carolina. That's where the Swamp Fox, home of the Swamp Foxes. If people familiar with the Marion,
Francis
what is it?
Marion Forrest.
Marion, yeah, Francis Marion Forest. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it all run together, and my grandma, she said that I can't remember if it's her grandparents or her great grandparents, but it's documented in the family Bible that they came through the port downtown Charleston. Now, my grandma is originally from Alabama, and
Right.
she came here as a kid, and she grew up here and then ended up meeting my granddad. But I'm just giving that relation because a lot of our people came through here, but also got scattered out throughout the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you say Camden through the port,
Yeah.
you're talking about during the slave trade, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came in, through the slave trade, and that's documented in the family Bible. But I think about between 40 to 60% of African Americans got ancestors that came through Charleston, you know what I'm saying, at some point in time.
Right. I mean, it
Now,
only
to
makes
answer
sense.
the second part,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say to answer the second part of your question, um, the when I published my first book, I wrote it in the way that I talk, and when people in town started seeing that, they said, "Hey, don't never change that." And the publishing company tried to, oh, this is grammatically incorrect, and I told them, listen, if I send it to you, that's how we gonna leave it. I'm
Right.
paying you the money to print this. I don't need you telling me how to talk my language. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you telling me how to do that. And that's how it influenced and That's how I ended up coming into the name the Geechee Poet because at one point in time I was going by Jizzle Jada Poet, which all my friends call me Jizzle. You see what I'm saying? But then when
Right.
I started getting more into the performances and doing things, I'm like, you know what? I'm a rep the South all the way, man. I'm gonna put the city on my back, and I'm a Geechee Poet now.
I mean, that was a smart decision, man. Once you added in the history behind why you chose the name and all of that, man, that's great storytelling. It don't get no better. That's top tier. What does it mean to be Gullah Geechee in today's world?
Man, people don't. So people don't realize Gullah Geechee and Creole is the same thing. And we really the same thing, bro. We really come from the same thing. It's just one Louisiana. The Geechee people run all the way from Florida, parts of Florida, all the way up to North Carolina. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But when you look at the food, the lingo, if you really get into the roots of the lingo, it's all of the same thing. And a lot of that lingo comes from this language called, some people call it Bangla, some it's really pronounced Bengali. And I can speak it a little bit. I've been studying it, teaching myself it. I speak it a little bit, and that's where the Gullah Geechee words and the Creole words actually come from, that Bengali language. So today, a lot of people don't really, I ain't gonna say they don't recognize the heritage, but they don't really understand the power that we hold with this land. Because we one
Right.
with this land, we one with, you know what I'm saying? So when you become one with the land and you really start getting in tune with self, self is gonna recognize uh, the stars, the moon, the ancestors, so on and so forth, man. So I just feel like I'm not saying that I'm African full blooded, but I know what I am. You see what I'm saying? I know exactly what I am. And I put it on because a lot of people then got lost in the sauce, man, with the music, thinking one type of way, but if we don't know where we came from, how we can go where we trying to go at. See what I'm saying?
Can you explain what lost in the sauce is a little bit, just so that the people can catch up with
Well,
what you're talking about?
what I mean by lost in the sauce is like everybody hook on to this new world age. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I listen to my artists. I got favorite rap artists that I listen to, but I know how to stay grounded and
Right.
separate that from real life and the lyrics. You see what I'm saying? Now, if
Right.
you want to get to what I mean by lost in the sauce, okay, like with me, I know spelling that's serious. You see what I'm saying? Because it's called spelling. It's not called spelling for any accident. So anything you write, you think, you put it on paper, which what a man think of is what he creates. So
Right.
if you lost in the world and you don't really know what's going on, or you so caught up in the shenanigans on the Instagram, you will get lost in the sauce because you will never know how to get back to your true self and stay grounded with self.
Dropping fucking gems on them. You killing them. How do you preserve? How do you preserve Gullah Geechee traditions in your daily life outside of the poetry?
Well, I'm fortunate, man. I still got one grandma left, and I got some aunties and whatnot, and they still roll that pot, boy. They still roll that pot. Now, when
Right.
I say roll that pot, I mean my grandma yesterday, she just gave me some Charleston cornbread, and I talked about this when I went off the porch with Dirty Gloves some years ago. People will think that it's cake, but it's really called Charleston cornbread. And my grandma learned how to make that from my granddaddy mama. So my mama grandma taught my grandma how to make that. You see what I'm saying? And it's cornbread, bro, but it's just a little bit sweeter. But you know that little bit sweeter, people gonna call it cake, but we call it Charleston cornbread. So just the food alone, that lingo, you know how when we get to talking, when other
Yeah.
people hear us talking, they think we talking a whole another language, huh? You know what I'm saying? So I still incorporate that. And I tell you another thing. My mama used to always ask me, like when I was in high school, she'd be like, "Why you put other at the bottom of the paper when they ask you?" to classify what you are. I said, Mama, because we are other. They don't got Gullah Geechee down as this. That's a whole heritage. That
Right.
is a whole culture. It is no different than anybody else. So if it's not on this people, I'm putting other because I'm acknowledging what I am.
That is kind of crazy how they mix, how they jumble up all black folks like we one thing. Hell, even all white folks like we all one thing when we are very different culturally, spiritually. The list goes on and on and on. But I mean, I guess at some point the more was like, hey man, it's too much of y'all motherfuckers, man. We gotta put y'all in a box and roll with it like that. When did you first realize that you had a gift with words?
Um, so it really ain't clicked until I had got older and I really started looking back. You know what I'm saying? Like reflecting on different things. Man, bro, when I was in like I say like the fourth grade, you have like in you got your math, ELA, et cetera, and you study these things. You study the poetry, da 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 da. And you gotta do a project. Well, I the teacher gave us these subjects to write on. You remember back in the day where you put your paper inside the plastic sleeve thing and you put the little binder strip on the thing and then make it like a booklet. You know what I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
about?
Oh yeah.
Um, my
I don't
teacher,
know the name off the top of the
my
head, but
teacher
yeah, I
kept
know.
my thing. My teacher, she was like, "Can I keep this?" And me being thinking, "Oh, like, oh yeah, that's dope. The teacher want to keep it, man, bro." She kept it because I've been ahead of myself, and that was a good example. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? That was a good example of me writing poetry, but I was too young to understand. No, you can't have this. I'm good at this. Instead, I'm like, oh yeah, you can keep it. That trying to thinking that I'm doing the right thing as a child. But then when I get to high school, I start becoming more reserved and conservative. And I got my people that I talk to. But then at the end of the day, shit, you can't take them people home with you. So now
Yep.
I'm writing. Me and this chick get into an argument in the hallway. We get into an argument in the hallway. I go and study hall. I sit down, start writing. My homeboy, he walk by, do the jokey thing, acting like he going to sharpen the pencil because I guess he think I'm writing a love letter or whatever. He snatch it off the desk, go back to the desk. He reads this, and after study hall, he was like, "Hey, let me tell you something, homeboy." He said, "I'm gonna make sure you practice this every day." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "You good at this?" He said, "Not many people are good at this." He said, "So every day, I want you to write at least two pieces, bruh, and I don't want you to lose this talent." Well, shit, time done gone. Man, but I got notebooks stack up with rhymes. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And graduate high school. And like even back then, people used to always, like on career day, like, oh, what do you want to do? And I want to be a writer. I want to be a poet. They're like, oh, well, look, if that don't work out, then what's your backup plan? I never gave myself a backup plan. I ain't never give myself a backup plan. Like I never say, oh, well, if that don't work out, I'm gonna be an engineer or this is that and the third. Because why just tell you a little while ago, what a man thinketh and what he writeth is what he create in his own reality. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So when I got out of high school, I had get lost in the sauce. I had get lost in the sauce. I mean, I'm you out of school, you're having fun, you're doing your thing, and one day, rest in peace, homeboy. My homeboy, he pulled me to the side. We went on our homeboy job. He was like, "Hey man," he said, "When you gonna stick to the plan?" I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Man, we done been out of school for a year, almost a year and a half, and you ain't published not one book yet." He said, "What happened to that ambition of wanting to be a writer?" Hey, when I tell you that thing had struck a fire in me, boy, they
This
struck a
this
fire in me so
homeboy,
hard.
this homeboy, was he involved in the arts? Like where did his what's motivating him to
He
motivate you?
wasn't a. Now, you mean the one that snatched the paper from me, or the one that asked me why I ain't sticking to the plan?
I mean, I'm kind of at like because this the same homeboy that told you that you need to do this in study hall. Like, hey, you need to be doing this
No,
right.
no, 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 no,
Two
no, no.
different people. Okay.
That's a whole never home. Yeah, there's two different people. This homeboy is my childhood friend from
Right.
fifth grade till the universe had us part ways. You see what I'm
Right. Okay.
saying?
I got you. I'm with you.
Um, now, now he wasn't into the art, but when you really got a real friend like that and you
Mhm.
express those things, is, hey man, I'ma be on your behind to make sure you see what you're gonna do. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And that's what he really wanted to see me do. And sometimes people see us going places that we don't even see ourselves going. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
sir.
so when he said that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on it, and I got on it, bro. It took me about another 6 months to come up with the money and really, get the ball rolling. But I got on it though.
So you about to lead into my next question. How did you go from writing poems to publishing books?
Um. All right. So since we on the raw night cut, man, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you like it is.
All right.
I had got I had gotten some trouble with that same homeboy who had told me to stick to the plan, right?
Right. Right.
No, 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 wait, wait. Let me back up. Let me back up. Let me back up. Let me back up. I get too heavy still. Let me back up. I went the publisher because I gotta put the timeline and chronological order in my head. So when I published my first book, it was I was going to Charter Technical College
All right.
in North Charleston of Rivers Avenue.
All right.
Well, bro, I'm in class. I'm uh I'm writing rhymes while the teacher got us taking notes.
That
I'm
sounds
writing
familiar.
rhymes, and me me and the old man, old lady, we kicking out the bread. We kicking out the bread. And I just couldn't get with the school, bro. Like I couldn't. My mind been thinking too fast for that classroom I been in. And so when that semester had ended, me and God had to talk.
Right.
And I had tell God, I said, man, God, listen. I said, I really ain't trying to go back. And God said, all right, then put them books to use. So then I sit down and I decide what I'm gonna do. Now, this is the internet ain't how it was now. This back in like 2013 going into 2014. So Instagram ain't even been set up how Instagram set up now. Instagram was strictly pictures back then. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You couldn't do all the stuff we doing on Instagram now. So now when I decide that I'm gonna publish the books and I tell the old lady I tell the old man and the old lady I ain't going back to school no more. The old man say, hey son, if that's what you see fit you, get in where you feeling. You see why he's saying? He said, get in where you feeling. My old lady was on some stuff like, some people gonna take your work, you ain't gonna never see it again. Dumbest decision you ever make in your life. My
Damn.
mama tell you this now, and my face. Yeah, that had make me cry, bro.
Yeah.
That had make me cry. I could tell the world that. That had make me cry. That hurt my feelings. And why it hurt my feelings is because your parents always tell you, no matter what you decide to do in life, I will stand behind you.
Right.
But then when I want to do this, now it's not reality no more. But then I had to realize I'm stepping out on something different that people ain't never seen before. So I published a book, and it's like, okay, I did that, but I ain't take it serious.
Yeah.
So I get lost in the sauce again. Now let's go back to answer just leading into what you just building it up. I get lost in the sauce again. The same homeboy that actually wanted to stick to the plan, me and him getting a little trouble together or whatever. And when I been on these avenues, I had make God a promise. I said, God, I said, I see what you're doing. I said, you trying to deter me away for what's not for me because I am different. And because I am different, I fully accept the talent that you have blessed my left hand with,
Right.
And God, you got my promise. If you let me out of here and I can get myself right, I'm going to take these poetics and I'm going to go hard in the paint. And that's how I get right here, right now.
Yes, sir. So to give a little timeline, how long ago was this? I would say catharsis.
I published my I I published the first book I published. I published 2 or 3 months right before I turned 21.
Right.
I'm 32 right now. Um, I published another book maybe like 2 years after that. And that second, the first book, I'm about to take it down. I'm about to take it down. I'm about to go back and redo it. But that second book I'm telling y'all about is what y'all know as Carolina Bird.
Right.
Carolina Birding had always look how it look now. Um, I wish I had dig up the original copy, but Carolina Birding had look how it look now, and it always ain't had read how it reads now. See, because I was young and trying to just put something together, but I ain't had nobody to sit down and I could really go over this with whoopie whoop. I had to sit there and edit it myself, this and that. You see what I'm saying? But then as time goes on, you gotta change with the time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me publishing a new book, when the pandemic had came, I wrote Erotic Flight. And when I wrote Erotic Flight, I had everybody so caught up in Erotic Flight, I had pulled down Carolina Bird and I had republished it.
So that erotic flight is a poem or another book or another series
No,
of
Erotic
poems.
Flight is a whole it's a whole, no, Erotic Flight is a whole another book. That's an adult
Okay.
book.
Okay.
It's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll get to that. But before we get there, what was the hardest part about sharing your poetry publicly for the first time or in those first years of you doing
Well, I had always I had started like it wasn't hard at first because uh I used to share it with girls in high school. But I used to get teased for that job, but not by the girls.
by the
Not by
boys,
the
of
girls.
course.
Dudes
Of course.
dudes used to laugh at me and you know what them boy used to call me?
What they
Wooty
call?
woo woo woo. But your girl won't come kick it with me at the school.
Yeah.
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 Your girl won't take me home. You see what I'm saying? So I sell it at the scene. When I start releasing it to the world, people start telling me, hey, don't sleep on us. God had gave you this talent to show other people, to not only show people, but you can help people classify their emotions in ways that they can't verbalize themselves. And when old people have started telling me that, people my age have started telling me that, and when I started doing speaking at the library, and you got all ages from young kids, the elderly folks in there, and people listening,
Right.
you got a message to send, bro. Because if you can reach from the young to the old, and everybody can relate some way, somehow, in at least one piece, you
Yes, sir.
see, then that means you touching hearts and minds.
That's true power, man. The power to influence people. That's what it's about. It ain't about money. No, no. It's about being able to touch somebody's heart and their soul.
Uh,
Do you remember a specific moment where your poetry truly resonated with the audience?
um, let's see. Yeah. Um, let's see. I want to say I'll be real, when I first started going out of town, when I started going to Charlotte, North Carolina, when I started leaving out the city, and I started venturing off, the reactions that I would get out the city, I'd be like, damn, there's a whole nother reaction than home. But then I had to realize I talk different, my delivery different, and not even to toot my own horn, but I'm a real life lyricist, bro.
Right.
I'm a real life lyricist, and it's one thing for you to hype yourself up, which ain't nothing wrong with hyping yourself up. But when you got other people coming to you telling you, "Hey man, I wish I had shut up when you first had started. My girl had tell me to shut up and listen, and boy, listen, boy, I need one of them books. Yeah, come on, let's go to the car. I got a whole box in the car right now. Let's go. Yeah." So, so when people start telling me things like that, that's when I realize I touch hearts, minds, and souls.
Do you how would you describe the grind for a person that does spoken word compared to a more traditional musician,
Rapper?
rapper,
Okay.
singer,
Uh,
whoever's in the industry? Is it
whoever,
similar?
okay.
Like,
Okay, so, um, and I'm pretty sure you don't notice this by studying me on social media, but I'm a poet that be around them same people that you just listen. I'm a
right,
poet that be around rappers, actors, music producers, filmmakers, etc. And it's different for us because everybody skip the poetics and go straight into the other music. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not knocking that at all. But when you real life start, see, because at a certain point, as anything in life is what you make it, right?
right,
So if it's a hobby for you and that's therapy, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But at a certain point, you gotta let the world know who you are. Well, how the world gonna know what you do if you only stay amongst a group of people that do what you do, huh?
right, right,
Because
right,
guess
right,
what? It always comes back. It always comes back to the fundamentals of the poet. Why I say that? Because even from the beginning of time, especially in the African culture, that's how the storytelling began. That's how a lot of things began with just that simple beating on the drum, the maracas and everything like that, and then boom, the music comes behind it. When the music comes behind it, now it turns into other things. I'm saying all of that to say, man, I be around people and they be like, dang, I need a songwriter. Hey, you interested in writing songs? So it's different for me because I've started I started branching off, and I really do hang around like actors, rappers, and it's hard. It's not hard. It was hard to get to that point to break out the box, but now that I've broken up that confined box, I'm accepted by a lot of people because I hang around the rappers and the singers and the actors, and ain't no stepping on their toes, nor mine, because I don't do what they do. So people give me a lot of info.
right. Do you write with rhythm in mind, or does the message comes first?
Man, not even on the funny stuff, man. Like that's like I go blind and God just take my hand and go across that paper.
Right. What's your process like? Do you use a pen and paper or voice notes, freestyle, pen and paper?
We old school with it. We so old school. We so old school with it. Look at that. Look at that. I just picked one up off the floor right here. You see
Uh,
what I'm saying? I got a notebook right here. Yeah, yeah. Because I had promised myself when these cell phones started changing that I wasn't gonna get caught up in the losing the talent of writing. Because if you don't use something, you lose it. That's
right,
anything in life. And now it kind of kicked me in the rear end when it comes time for like publishing a book because now I got to go back and type all that stuff up.
yeah. I hate doing that shit too, man. I hate that shit too. That's kind of why I stick to kind of like stuck with the rapping more so because I didn't like the. At the end of the day, when you're doing books, it's still going back to traditional English. So I feel like I'm back in my damn 12th grade English class, writing essay papers and shit. That's the drag for me. That's the drag for me. I love the creative part. I can, the imagination runs wild. But when you actually have to do the technical shit, it does get tedious. How important is performance in your delivery?
Woo, woo. Boy, listen, that performance, I done came a long way with it. I used to be bashful to do performances. But see, like, you look at me now, boy, you think I ain't had no trouble come out there just running out the gate. Man, listen here, man. I done been on stage and that script couldn't get it out.
Right.
Same homeboy that I tell you to tell me to stick to the plan. Oh, he had chewed me out when we had to get back to the car. He said, "Hey man," he said, "let me tell you something." He said, "The same way you can rap them words on that radio, the same way how you can bounce around the club and be screaming this, and that." He said, "Boy, you better remember what you write." He said, "Them your words. You know how stupid you look going up there and you can't remember what you write."
Yeah.
Right. But here again, that's my childhood friend.
Yeah,
He
that
can talk
motherfucker
to me
keeping it
like that.
real, boy. He the realest nigga throughout this story, man.
That's
Telling
very
you.
last day. That's very last day.
Yeah.
Um, and so now I have gotten to the point to where unless somebody really want me to be up there for like 10 minutes, I never try to eat up the whole 10 minutes. No way. But if I really got to eat up the whole 10 minutes, man, listen. After like 6, 7 minutes, I gotta have a reference, and I just pick up one of the books. But I try not to go past that 5 minute mark because people attention span short nowadays. So if I give you a good 5 minutes, you know how it is because you're not performing the same building as me. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And people attention span short, bro.
Yes, it
So
is.
you got about a good 5 minutes, maybe, but you gotta capture that mind within the first 30 to 90 seconds, or they gone.
Yes,
They,
it
they off
is.
doing something else.
It's I mean, and these are your loved ones. These are people that are cool with you. So imagine when you in foreign lands amongst strangers and shit, you better come with it, nigga. Which iron sharpens
You,
iron.
you
That's how you separate those that's meant to do this from those that need to, find another profession and do some other things, which is all right. Society has to has to go.
yeah, everybody got their role that they play in society, and everybody can't. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, everybody not going to go as far as maybe as they think they'll go, or do what they want to do, and that's okay.
It's
You know,
okay.
you don't have to fully put yeah, you don't have to fully put it down or fully, shelf it, but sometimes it don't always work out. You know what I'm
Just know when to cut your losses, man, so you don't do harm to yourself and to your family. It's all good. It's all good. How do you balance personal experience with storytelling in your poems or in your writing in general?
saying? Sometimes it's not always about me personally. Sometimes it's about what I see through these eyes that look at society.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Um, but if I can study a situation, like example, and this is an example off the top of my head. Brenda's got a baby.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real story. You see, that was a real story, but look at how Pop told that story. Look at how it resonated with a lot of people, and it still resonates to this very day, some almost 30 years later. So when you have a gift to be able to put your foot in the shoes of somebody else, and you can tell that story, and you have not fully walked the path, bro. That's a gift. That's a gift, man.
Are there any poets or writers that's influenced you?
Um, Damn. Maya Angelou,
Mm-hmm.
Langston Hughes,
Mm-hmm.
Robert Frost. Uh, I know this could throw a lot of people for the whirlwind, but Edgar Allan Poe.
Shit, why?
Um,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's an OG poet.
um,
Yeah,
and did you know that he also was a soldier in the war? And he was over on Sullivan's Island.
I didn't know he
Did you
was
know
from
that?
Sullivan's Island. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why they got a restaurant on Sullivan's Island called Poe. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Um,
I fucks with. Yeah, nigga. I fuck with your list. The only person that I really not that up on is Robert Frost, but the other writers, yeah, I'm.
and and I got one more. Tupac Shakur. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those are the greats that I looked up to, that I hope to be a part of, included in the part of those greats one day as well.
I don't. Are you old enough for deaf poetry jam?
I've studied it, like, all footage online, but I never like been to one. No.
Okay. That's that shit. I was a child when that shit was out. I just wanted if you had hit that if you saw that too, because at that time, that's there was a time where poetry, spoken word was on television. Like you could see it on HBO. Deaf Poetry Jam. Then they had like slam poets, things like that. You could see it, so it was more a part of the culture than it is now. How do you speaking? How do you feel about that?
On the low, as a full thriving poet, it kind of break my heart a little bit, man. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it has limited uh, availability to study more different aspects of art. And what I mean by that is like you could, like you said, you was a kid when it come out, but you could real life go. People trying to Friday night, they trying to go to the coffee shops and the local cafes and whatnot to get a spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just so they can study. Like, dang, like Moesha, right? Remember Moesha at D spot, no, not at D, at Dale spot, where they used to, she had the school thing in the daytime, but then at nighttime it turned into the poetry thing, the open mic thing. Man, why are we so unappreciated when we can really help calm a lot of things in society and bring back the balance, man? I don't understand why we so underrated and not appreciated. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know either, bro. I don't know either. I mean, you've seen the trajectory is going. Art imitates life, so it's not like these people are making up things that you see, but it is highly exaggerated, and that's where it's headed, man. Is more characters instead of having TV shows with characters. Now they expect you to be the character and to broadcast it on Instagram, Snapchat, so on and so forth. And if you're not with the program, you can still make it. They'll just ignore you, and that's even I guess that's kind of even worse than just like canceling you. It's like, man, we're just not gonna pay you any attention, man. But it is what it is. You just got to have that integrity to keep on pushing, and that is why we are here. What themes do you find yourself returning to in your work?
What, repeat that again. You say, what themes do I find myself turning into in my work?
Returning to like what do you
Oh,
what's
oh,
your mission
oh,
statement?
um, damn, that boy, you got me. So I always say, welcome to the lyrical flight. And when I say welcome to the lyrical flight, that just means buckle up
Right.
because I can scratch any kind of emotions while we on this lyrical ride. I tell that to say you never know what you go experience. You never know what you go experience, or you never know what might catch your attention, and it might throw you off. And not even in a bad way. You see what I'm saying? But my mission is, like I said earlier, young, middle age, old age. As long as I can keep those three things rolling, I ain't got nothing to worry about, bro.
Do you consider your poetry a form of protest or healing or both?
Both, because I got urban and political. I got some political poetry and Carolina Bird. I got some political views in there, but I got some urban things as well too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, it can be a little bit of both.
So what message do you want people to walk away with when they after they see your performance? Or after reading, your book?
I'm not the only one that feel like this. There's somebody else out there that can put my feelings, meaning myself. I want other people to be like, dang, I felt like this, or I had this kind of experience, and it had made me feel some type of way, but I didn't know how to word it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that be what I want people to always remember when I do those type of poems, and then like when I do them erotic poems, man, them ladies they just it always stick to their mind. Certain things that I be saying with the analogies that I have. How you come up with that?
Yeah. I say that we're some sexually frustrated people overall in this society because we put a lot of restraints on ourselves in personal lives to explore those fantasies. And when you perform your erotic poetry, that's a way for them to live out their, whatever through you, my
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
So you became a conduit for the things that they wish they could feel comfortable with talking about and doing themselves.
Bango, Bango. Sexy Red ain't the only one that can help y'all understand what he trying to say. I can do it too, but I a
Yes,
guy.
sir.
Yeah, I can do it too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the power of it, man. The power of words. Has your view on life changed because of the poetry you write?
Yeah. Um.
In what way?
And my poetics has helped me come into my true self more. My journey on my poetics has made me realize I really do this. I really do this, and I stay true to myself while doing it. I ain't never sold out. I
Right.
ain't never plagiarize nothing. I ain't
Hmm.
never get envious of nobody and trying. Now, what I will say, if you a student of the game, no matter what you do, I was just talking to this about with a photographer yesterday. If you're a student of the game, you gonna study other people's ways of doing things, and you gonna find a way to perfect it and polish it. And that's kind of what I did. I kind of went around. I was like Napoleon Bonaparte. See what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
went around and I studied what other people do and how they do that delivery, how they this and that. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I'm gonna still remain true to myself. But I'm gonna also use these different tactics and approaches and I'm gonna do it better than you.
Right.
That be my mission. Is I gotta do it better than the person who I saw do it because yeah, they can say, oh well, maybe he took that from me, but dang, he do it better than me.
That's the goal. What role does spirituality or your ancestral connection play in your art?
I feel like they lived through me. I feel like they lifted me. And why I say that? Because I got this one poem. Don't I can't recite it, so don't ask me to recite it because it's extensively long.
Right.
But it's called "As Their Future," and it's in Carolina Bird. And you read that, you would be like, bro, I had to sit down and think about that. But every time I go to release something to the public, publish it, or perform it, I always ask the ancestors to help me heal broken hearts, calm uneasy minds, and let my words stick like a thumbtack in a board. So people remember, I don't care if it's one line, you remember when you leave out that building, or I leave out the building before you, you could be like, boy, Brad, stick that one to me, boy.
You do a good job of that, brother, because I damn sure remember that performance from that night. So congratulations on that.
I
Can
appreciate that, man.
can you tell us about the book that you're most proud of?
Oh, now you want me to be prejudiced to my own work, boy. That's so boy. No, I just messing with you, but I don't really have a favorite, bro. And the reason why I say I don't have a favorite is because I'm not finished publishing books yet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not finished yet, and I have multiple favorite pieces out of my books. So I don't really have a favorite book, but the people. If I gotta speak for the people, I always get the most reaction out the erotic book for whatever reason. And gender don't even play a factor with it, bro. Male, female, I've taken sex to events like, and I'm talking about I take copies of both books, and some people like, and I can mix up the performance like how you saw me do that night. No,
Right.
I want that one that you first started out performing. Yeah, let me get that one. Hey man, my girl being sick now, bro. We done see you perform like two, three times, man. Please let me get that erotic book, man. So the people tend to go to that one a little bit more. Now when I be around like younger people, like what I gotta do like PG-13 stuff, they still like the delivery of the Carolina Bird book. So I guess it just depends on your age bracket
In the
and what you
audience.
hear
Yeah.
in the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. What's been your most powerful performance moment to date that you can recall?
I'll say I can recall my grab. Boy, I think it. I think it. The most powerful one that I can really think of off the top of my head is when I just went to South by Southwest earlier this year in Austin, Texas. Um, at South by Southwest, I did perform.
Right.
I had I had like 3 or 4 minutes to perform. The only poet in the building, and I know I start catching people's attention when I hear people with that, and
Yeah.
they go from all the background chatter and all the chatter that I can hear. Then now you can hear a dime dropping that thing.
We want to hear the man speak. The people thirsty for a message, man. We haven't had a goddamn leader in a while. Somebody that you can look to and inspire to be like. So the people is they thirsty, man. They out they looking. How do you prepare for your live shows?
Um, Man, brought up became so second nature to me now. It's like washing off and putting on clothes.
Right.
But before, I ain't gonna sit. I'm not gonna sit here and fake the funk. Like one time, I tried following the crowd and like taking shots before going on stage. Not when I tell you I had messed up my words and my homeboy had done me out, had to
Yeah,
X that out. You see what I'm saying? Then I start taking my vegetables. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes too much of that ain't good too, cause the anxiety might raise up. And you just, I got 2,500 people looking at me right now.
yeah.
But I have learned to really just meditate, pray, and I drink alkaline water if I go on stage, bro. Like
Health is
I
wealth,
don't
baby.
drink alcohol. Yeah, like I don't even after I perform now I have gotten to a point to where I don't really have to drink when I get off stage or drink when I on stage. I might have a little celebration bottle of champagne when I get back to the spot. But I have learned to really enjoy the moment and observe the natural reactions. And that's what keep me thriving and striving because in my mind, I just know when I go up there and I finish or when I up there, somebody go act crazy. And not
Right.
even in no violent way, but somebody gonna be like, yeah, boy, and that give me enough adrenaline rush right there where I on a high horse for hours.
What do you see, or where would you like to see or what would you like to see the next generation of Geechee poets do? Like, how would you like for them to keep on with the tradition?
Get back to self and stay grounded. And what I mean, get back to self, same thing like how you just was saying, as a character, it's okay to have that persona, but no one to turn it off.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I want the next generation to know the importance of reading, the importance of writing, the importance of knowing self. Because if you know self, can't nobody strip that away from you. As long as it's up here, can't no man take that away from you unless they take you off this planet. And then you're still ready because you're reincarnated. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But until these type of conversations are had and accepted, and what I mean by had and accepted, here again, with me, it all go back to spirituality. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is study the stars, get to know the plants, get to know the animals. They're not gonna hurt you or harm you unless they sense fear or you trying to kill it.
Right.
Get to know those things so we can get back to helping one another instead of trying to unalive each other, bruh. You see what I'm saying? Our people would rather unalive each other, tear each other down, backstab and bite versus, hey man, no, let's go ahead and do this. It's okay to be different, is what I'm saying, but nobody wants to be different. Everybody got their mind stuck on being the rapper, and everybody not gonna be a rapper. Everybody not gonna be a basketball player, football player, etc. So it's okay to have teachers, nurses, doctors, mechanics. It's okay to have those type of things.
We got to
There's
have it.
nothing wrong with that.
We got to have it.
But those type of conversations are not had because remember I tell you, people used to tease me for girls reading my book. You see what I'm saying? Now I went up them boy think he's still funny. It ain't funny no more. You see
Nah.
what I'm saying? It ain't funny no more. It ain't funny no more because I have really took it serious and I didn't give myself a second option. And it's not going to play out like that for everybody. And I thank God the Most High for that. You see what I'm saying? But it's okay to be different and stop teasing people for them having a different vision than you because you never know how that person might change the world.
We have came to the to the last question. This is the last question I got for you, Playboy. Hey, I appreciate the time that you spent with me, man. You've been dropping
I
knowledge on
appreciate
these folks the whole hour that we've been talking back to back to back. So if anybody that watches this interview, if they don't pick up something, they just they're a knucklehead, and they'll figure it out somewhere down the line, man. But the last question that I have to you, for you, if you could speak to your younger self just starting out, what would you say?
Boy, that's crazy. You asked me that because I just tell myself this the other day. Boy, that's crazy. You asked me that. If I could tell my younger self what's a hand, you gonna be all right. You gonna be more than all right. You gonna be proud of yourself, and most importantly, bro, you ain't never gave up on the vision. You might have hit the pause button for a second. You might have get sidetracked a little bit, but you always have stuck to the model. And as long as you stick to the models and remain humble, everything you do is pure with intention. The universe does not let that go unseen or unheard, and the trials and tribulations only make you a better man.
And that is why you the Geechee poet, and I'm just Runye Robinson, because I couldn't have said that any better than how you just put that together, my man. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you coming through to sit down and have this chat with me, man. I think we really put some people on some game, and it's going to be a enhancement to their life as opposed to being a detriment. So,
No, I appreciate it, bro. I really do appreciate this opportunity that you presented to me. But here again, like I just said just now, man, I want people to always remember, and not just guys, but the sometimes the bottom, and you don't got. And when I say the bottom, I'm not talking about like poverty stricken now. But
yeah,
sometimes when you really feel like you don't hit that bottom, sometimes it's the universe reprogramming you to see if you have really learned what has been thrown at you, and it makes you stronger. And then sometimes you will be tested to see if you're gonna give up, if you're gonna lose the faith, or if you really can take those lessons and apply the pressure, because pressure busts under what pipes bust pressure busts pipes. You see what I'm saying?
yes,
As
sir.
long as you don't fall like a piece of origami, and you can stand 10 toes strong, you can stand tall through it all like them trees outside, man, because you're grounded.
Before we get out of here, I would very much like for you to let the people know the works that you have published, where they can find them at, where they can find you at, and if you have any up and coming performances, where can they come see you live? My man, run it down
Ooh.
for them.
Um, yeah. So y'all can if I'm gonna try to answer in the chronological order you asked me. I am the Geechee poet, GeeChiePoet. So you can Google Geechee poet. My book's gonna pop up. My website's gonna pop up. The blog reviews that I've been on go pop up. If you want to check out my merch, and other things. You can check out my merch. You can also book me as a poet as well, and I also do customized poetry as well. So if you visit me on geechiepoet.com, GeeChiePoet.com, you click the button down. You can shop. I got merch. You can fill out the contact sheet, and I we can do interviews, customized poetry, and I do email the poems on for a little bit more, couple more dollars. I'll dress it up and make it real for you and put it in the mail. I promise you, you won't be disappointed how it come in the mail.
Hmm.
Um, you can follow me on Instagram, same name, Geechie Poet, GeeChiePoet. Facebook, the same thing. I'm on TikTok, y'all, but y'all gotta give me a chance. I'm trying to stay consistent with the TikTok, but it's not really working. I gotta get more consistent with the TikTok. And follow me on the threads on Instagram as well, man, because I don't really be on Twitter like that no more. So you can follow me on the threads. If
Yeah,
you do
Twitter's
still be
crazy.
on Twitter, I'm Geechie Port on Twitter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do it, but if I do post poems and whatnot on there, and then also I don't have any performances coming up Here, right now, um, next month though, I'm going to Los Angeles for BET Awards weekend, and I will be performing at a private celebrity dinner in LA. So stay tuned for the footage for that. Check me out on YouTube. If you do want to book me though, or try and work something out before May is up, hit me up. The book's open. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if we ain't locked in a box, then like me and man on this call, you gotta pay to play now. I got too much credentials to keep doing stuff for free now.
All right,
You
now
see what
niggas
I'm
got
saying?
families, nigga. Niggas got
You gotta pay
families.
to play. I promise you, if you go and look at my Instagram and my Facebook, you will not be sorry at the things that you see, the people that I've been interacting with, that I have been around, and you see why I got the ticket that I got.
Yeah. Hey man, I appreciate you coming through. Keep on pushing interviews. We had the Geechie Poet today. Hey, everybody that's listening, check my man out. Very dope artist.
We got
You
the
know,
merch on right here.
he got it going on. Support, and we out, man. That's that. We done deal. It's a wrap.